Hey guys, just starting out by saying I do support the protesters and watch my friend Kira do A Black Girl's Dying Too has a really good post last night. It's in her IGTV about what's going on, and please support your friends, support black businesses. I've posted a bunch of wineries in my feed. Stay active, stay involved, and make sure your friends are doing okay, and stay safe if you're out protesting. All right, 10 o'clock. Evie is here. Hi, Dee. Hi, Shaquanda. I'm telling people to support you and buy your hot sauce, girl. Evie, how are you?
Hey, I don't know if you can hear me. It's a little windy here. Hi.
It's really good. I can see that it's windy, but I can hear you perfectly. You're working, so very good.
How are you? How's everything there?
I'm very well. Rachel and Dionisi are both on here. I'm so excited
Cool.
to talk to you.
I didn't hear you.
That I'm very excited to talk to you, Rachel and Dionisi.
I think I will have to move. I climbed up here to show you the views, but it's really windy and I can't hear you even with the headphones on.
Okay, I understand. You want to go where it's quieter?
Maybe yes, but you should check this view before. So welcome to Domaine
Yeah,
Nerantzi.
please,
Let me
please do.
check this out. Yeah. So this is the Vineyard of Asprova. It's on the south of the hill. And then you have this valley of the river Strimona,
Wow.
which actually was raining there.
Oh, yeah.
You can see that.
Yeah.
And well, we have a valley that is surrounded by 5 mountains.
Uh-huh.
And that's the topography is really nice. And the winery is on top of a hill that has signs that was an ancient amphipolis.
Oh.
So, Acropolis, sorry. So this is the winery.
Nice.
And then you have the rest of the vineyards on top there and behind those hills and around those hills. So you have high mountains of 2,000 meters. This is the north that you're seeing. This is the east, and back there is the west. And you have Pangeo that is behind the winery. That is a very important mountain, not just for historic reasons, but also for the for the richness. We have a lot of things that connect wine with Pangeo in our region. So let me just get down from here. This is the Vineyard of Macedonia. And well, I hope it's quiet here. We're currently taking off some leaves, and the flowering is just over and complete. And this is the front yard of the winery. So let me walk at the balcony so it will be quieter. Yes. Yeah, you can see me now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little fuzzy, but that's the data. So we'll make do.
Okay.
Can you hear now? It's okay?
I can hear you, but I can't see you because of the sun.
Oh.
But that's fine.
Okay. Okay. So it's such a pleasure to talk to you. Every time I see you, you're just so easy to talk to and so warm. So I'm happy people are getting to meet.
Thank you.
Would you introduce yourself and tell us where you are?
My name is Evie Mitropoulou. I'm from Greece. I'm Greek. We are in the north of Greece. And me and my family, we have a winery, Domaine Nerantzi. I myself, I'm a chemist. I studied in Thessaloniki chemistry for 4 years, and then I did my DNO in Dijon, in Burgundy. After that, I'm straight here every year with my father making the wine here at the winery. And it's going pretty well, I must say. We have evolved a lot the past years.
Yeah. So tell us, when people think of Greece, I mean, I think they think of the islands, and when they think of Greek wine, they think of like a Sertico and crisp white wines. Can you describe Macedonia I have put it in the map up here. It's that little white bit in amongst the green in the top, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Ceres is the city, the biggest city close to us. We're in the village Pendapolis, which is a little bit more on the east of Ceres. Well, the islands are more known because of the tourism and because many people visit the islands. But the truth is that the northern of Greece, it's better concerning the climatic conditions for wine. And this is also why it was also mentioned so much in the history, because this area from the west side of Pangeo and the area of Pangeo Mountain was mentioned as the birthplace of Dionysos, which is the god of wine. So it's not by chance. There was a lot of history because wine grew here naturally and healthy, and we can still see it now. So the northern of Greece has all 4 seasons. It's not that warm during the summer. It's not that dry. And I believe it's the best place to have vineyards in Greece. Well, you can find microclimates everywhere, but in general speaking.
Is it cooler because it's further north or because it's higher in altitude?
Oh, no, we're not high in altitude here. So it's not a lot. But it's cooler because it's northern on the mountain. So we have winters with snow. When, for example, in Athens, they don't use even heating during the snow. So it's a big difference, although Greece is a small country.
Yeah, it's funny to think how close things are, but what a big difference it makes. So tell us about Domaine Nerantzi.
Sorry.
Can you tell us about Domaine? That's okay.
So,
would you tell us about
Could
Domaine?
you repeat that? Yeah. I think we lost connection now.
I think.
Let's meet.
Yeah. Okay. I think I have you. Can you tell us about Domaine Nerantzi?
Now I hear you. You said, would you like to give you like the history of the domain a little bit? Yeah. I'm hearing cuts off. So, well, Domaine Nerantzi started by my father, which was actually the founder, if you want. So his first name is Nerantzi. And he had this, always this love for nature and the way of living that had a lot of connection with producing its own vegetables, having its own economy in the house. And this led to planting a vineyard so that they can have their own wine. And that happened back in '88. So at 1998, we started the first company. Well, in a smaller winery, we didn't have this. And after my decision to follow up the family business, we said that we're doing something more professional now. And we bought this land here. We planted the vineyards. We currently have 10.8 hectares of vineyards. And the total surface of the estate is 18 hectares. I said 10.8 hectares of vineyard, yeah. Because we did a replantation now. And yeah, it was a lot of work, personal work. And it took many years for us to build the winery. We also did an expansion the last years. But the first vintage we did here in Pendapolis. Pendapolis is the village. It's right behind me.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see that. So that one. Oh no, that one. So yeah, I can't see details now. So the first vintage here was 2007, officially. Before that, we were making wine. We were the first winery to bottle wine in Ceres, which is important. And we also, with our efforts, we managed to register the PGI Ceres because it wasn't registered back then. It took a lot of time, but it was good. And then, well, we currently have revived. We have 2 varietals that we cultivate and we revived, which were local. and they're very interesting too. So the winery has been a little bit more like a symbol concerning the wine in Ceres, if you want.
Okay. While I want to ask Dionisi if he has something that I should say or ask you, pop it into the question, D, so I can convey that. And can you give
Okay.
an overview, Evie or Evie?
Anyway,
Evanthia.
Evanthia is the whole name.
There you go.
Evanthia it means Eva means from good, and anthos is flower in Greek.
Oh,
And it was actually, I was meant to work with wine because my name comes from the son of Dionysus with Ariadne. So it was inevitable for me.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So can you give us, so there's some people are wine professionals on here, some are just wine lovers. Can you give us kind of a big overview of Greek wine, what it traditionally has been and how it's changed, and how we're seeing more of it in America thanks to Dionisi and other people like him? But can you give an overview of like just wine in general from Greece?
Well, the past years there have been great improvements, because back in the 90s the wine was not to say professional, was not really thought of. It was just for consuming in Greece, and the winemakers didn't have the education that was needed. So after that point, people studied abroad, learned some more things. We don't even, today, we don't even have a university that is more technical for wine, just a school that is practical. It's like the BTS in France, which is not really winemaking. It's more like how to do stuff in the winery. And people that studied abroad brought the knowledge. You know, a lot of things happened the past years, and communication grew faster, and people traveled. So Greece catched up and could actually pass from house winemaking that was before to something more professional, and to producing wines that are much more better quality and can be exported and can be, how to say it, can combat the other wine countries at equal.
Yeah.
Excuse my English, sometimes it's not working.
Perfect. And it's very, I have a lot of French people who are afraid to come on here because they say their language, you know, English is difficult, but we find it charming, and it's real talking to you, and to talk to you right at the winery is very, very special. So I do appreciate it.
Thanks.
So Dionisi asked, and you did touch on this a bit, but he said you resuscitate a lot of local varieties. Can you tell us all the grapes you grow and the wines, and maybe a few stories about the grapes that maybe would have been lost?
Okay, so today we cultivate some Greek white grapes and some Greek and international red grapes. Concerning the whites, we have a Malagousia, which is an aromatic Greek grape that is cultivated in the north of Greece in general. We also have Assyrtiko, which is now planted more in the mainland of Greece. And it's very well adapted here. It's right there at this, I don't know, sorry. It's this triangle there. And we have planted some more, if you can see the vineyard there. It's that triangle, Assyrtiko. We also have Asprova Seron, which is a local grape. It's a white one. And we have, well, this variety together with Cognaros, which is a red grape, happened to be in our vineyard. So we, at some point, we were interested in what it was. We talked with the university to check if it was something that was known and we happened to have it, or if it was something local. And we talked with the university in Thessaloniki. Asprova is white and Cognaros is red. And with our initiation, we managed to register them as Greek varieties. And we were the only producers of both of them for many years now. It's just now that some people have planted Cognaros, but Asprova is not planted anywhere. And we made our vineyard from just one plant. So they're both very interesting. They have great results, in the taste, and that makes us very happy. because you might get lucky and have a different grape, but you're not very lucky sometimes because you have to blend it with something or it can't stand out by itself. They're both very interesting in the aromatic profile as well as the aging and the tannins and everything, all the profile and the taste and the depth and everything. So these two varieties are local, and we said the whites are Asprova, Malagousia, and Assyrtiko, and the reds are Cognaros, which is the local grape. And then we have planted some Syrah, sorry. You can't see it from here. There are 3 layers of Syrah this way up. And we have some Cabernet Sauvignon, and we also have planted some Limno, which is also a local variety, not just in Ceres, in the northern of Greece, which is also mentioned even in the antiquity and the mythology and all. So we will see what it's going to bring, because it's just a year that we planted it. And they used to, here in Ceres, they used to blend Limno with Cognaros, so we might try that as well.
When you have a grape that you're maybe not so familiar with or is not widely grown in the area, how do you find out if there's something special you do in the vineyard, maybe if it's ripening later, or how if you need to treat it differently in the cave? How do you go about researching that?
You can't research it. You can research it by yourself because you have no data.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the first research on Cognaros at the university because I did my, we have a kind of thesis in the university. So I did some research on Cognaros, and there was nothing to take as a data to compare or check. I could just compare it with different varieties. With pear, so it doesn't lead you anywhere. Cognaros is a really tannic, high phenolic grape, so let's just say that. Okay. But you can do experiments by yourself and check some different parameters.
Uh-huh.
But when you're the only producer, you can't compare soils and stuff. It's a little difficult.
But
it would be interesting to see how it does change.
Year to year, you kind of watch and evolve and maybe adjust.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Year to year, then you kind of learn and fine tune and adjust.
Yeah, actually, Cognaros was very, very difficult to work with. I was still learning from the vineyards because it's okay. They got angry.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a really it's a plant that is growing so much in leaves and branches, and it has huge leaves. Like the leaves are bigger than my face, like 2 times my face.
Really?
And that's very that's connected a lot to its photosynthetic capacity, and a lot to with the tannins and the phenolics it has. But it's growing so much in the vegetative side, and you have to balance that with the fruit you take. Well, at the same time, it's producing small bunches. So we have tried all these years to find the balance. We've managed, but we still have a long way to go.
Wow, that's fascinating. Would you, because some people join and drop out and come back, would you mind showing us around again where you are?
Yeah, sure. Just give me a second. So I'm now at the winery, so I can have good internet connection, but doesn't work so much. Oh. And this is the front yard of the winery. That's a tasting room we built not long ago. And here you can see the rest of some of the vineyards. I don't know if you can see the mountain lines, but at the lowest point right there, you can see Athos Mountain, which is Chalkidiki.
Okay.
And it's also Amphipolis, the ancient Greek city Amphipolis that Alexander the Great gathered its army to march to the east. So it's really important. It was really important back in the antiquities. And then you have the big mountain Pangeo that's higher than 2,000 meters. And yeah, that's our balcony here. And that's the door to the cellar.
What does the Pangeo... Oh, nice.
Yes.
You mentioned that Pangeo Mountain is important for the climate, I believe. Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, the whole topography of the valley is really important for us. And it's helping us a lot with the organic cultivation because the whole vineyard is organic certified. If you see, like, there is a line of, you can't see it now, it's really foggy because of the rain, but there is a line of trees here, and a river which is called Strimonas is pouring at the sea right there in Amphipolis. So it's a big valley, and there used to be a lake just right here, which was very, very important because well, it's dried out now, but it was very important back then because it was a big source of fish and food and everything. This valley is flat, and the 5 mountains that are around, they, for some reasons, they create some paths for the wind to pass, to go to the north. And we're in the middle of one of those paths. So we have a constant wind that is passing the vineyards during the day, which is really helpful. It's coming from Amphipolis and it's going that way. Well, it's coming from there towards this. And then this helps a lot because during the day it dries out the superficial humidity. So we can get rid of the diseases much easier if you want. And at the afternoon, this wind stops for an hour, and then it starts, we start having, I'll show you the path. We start having a cold wind that is coming from the north, which is really cold. And during the summer, you need a jacket to stay outside, which is really important. And this points there, 4 points of the mountains. That is like there. We have a wind that's path. It's really good because you have a big difference in temperature during the day and the night, and that helps a lot with the acidities and the freshness of the wines. Because we have a lot of alcohol because it's Greece, and we have a really strong tannic reds, and this balances balances this effect out because it's giving freshness.
It's so important to see this, I gotta say, because you know, the concept of terroir, everybody just thinks it's the soil, but it's the wind and it's the mountains and it's all of that. So it's very, very cool to see. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Well, it's all together.
Exactly. When I first met you, we lost. Can you hear me even though the video's gone?
Sorry, could you repeat that? I lost connection.
Evie, when I first met you, I fell in love with your. So the first time I met you, I fell in love with the Syrah, and that's the one that I've had at my restaurant.
No, I can't hear you now.
Describe how your Syrah.
I can't hear you. Just
just
give me a second to move to my back spot because I can't hear you at all there. Sorry. I thought we could also visit the vineyards, but this is it. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Let's go.
So I was sorry. When I first met you, I fell in love with your Syrah, and I've poured that at the restaurant. Can you describe your Syrah, how it tastes different, and why that might be from like a Rhone Valley Syrah?
Well, even in Rhone Valley, some people say that it's a Greek variety, so maybe it's more well adapted in Greece than there. But just throw it this information out. So Syrah is very well adapted here at the layers we have it. The vineyards are very healthy and they're very vigorous, and you can see the healthy fruit, which for me is the base of a good wine. Well, our Syrah is, I don't know if in the taste is more similar to maybe to a Cornas Syrah. It's from the things I've tasted in France. But over the years and with different climatic conditions, you can find like different versions of it. Sometimes we harvest it a little bit later, or some dry years we had some more comfy notes, like 2012. It's a strong tannic Syrah with high alcohol. And well, I don't know if I should compare it to the French Syrah, because I believe that even if you plant an international grape, like you should show out your own terroir and your own work. And this is also why we used Balkan oak to age it rather than French oak.
Okay.
To give the to keep the authenticity and the typicity of the local production from here.
Yeah.
So, well, I have some bottles brought out for you.
Oh, wow.
Just,
Okay.
yeah. So this is
You're
that you're talking about.
beautiful wine.
Yes. So we're now
And
to
can you
2012, and yes,
talk about
I did.
go ahead. When you're finished that, talk about the whites again too, though, for the people who just joined.
Okay. No, I can hear you now. So, well, I have brought some of the wines we produce here. We have 3 monovarietals of the from the white grapes I mentioned before. We have an Assyrtiko. If I approach the window, the signal will be out, so I'm showing you from distance.
No problem.
So we have Malagousia, which is this one. It's a monovarietal, and then we have Assyrtiko, which is monovarietal, and then Asprova Seron, which is the local white grape, and then we have Polis, which is a blend of the 3 whites. All the whites are fermented in a stainless steel tank, apart from Asprova that is fermented in oak and stays there for 6 months. So it's a little bit more complex, but well, all our whites are free run juice, which is better in quality, and because we are organic and we cannot fix problems, we try a lot not to have problems. And if we do have problems in the vineyards, we harvest just the good fruit.
Okay.
Because it's impossible to fix anything with organic certification. It's crazy. So, yeah, that's the whites. And then you have the reds. You have Syrah, which is the one we talked about. You have Cognaros, which is the local red. And Rissos, which is a blend of those 2.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, and if I'm not, yeah, you can find all of them at your market. So,
yeah. And what kind of food is different, maybe from the islands that people might be familiar with, and food up where you are? And then how do your wines go with that?
What kind of food? You mean like local food?
Yeah.
Well, they have a lot of, well, I mentioned that we used to have a lake here at the region. Well, they dried it out to make an artificial lake, which is Kerkini. I don't know if you're familiar with the geography of northern Greece, but there in Kerkini, in today's lake, they have a lot of buffaloes, and they produce, like with the milk, they produce we have a lot of meat of those, and you can cook that. It's a little heavy, but with great tannins and body, you can support that.
Right.
Also, from my father's side, we are from Thrace, if you want, like the eastern part of Istanbul, Constantinople, originally, but we moved, well, I don't know how to say that in English. The families were forced to leave their houses and immigrate here. So they brought their own habits and their own way of cooking and recipes. So our family's recipes are more into meat. We do stuffed lamps that Dionysi has tasted. We do a lot of we do a lot of things with butter, with paste, with pasta, and we have a lot of delicacies here. But all of these are, most of the time, they're more intense. So you need wines that can support that.
Yeah.
Which we have. We have a lot of tannic reds, and even the whites. They are fresh, but they still have this body and this depthness, I think.
Yeah.
Which is really important.
Yeah, I agree. They're more like serious wine than something that is more crisp and bright. They're fresh, but they're substantial. Just to kind of end, because we're almost at a half an hour, would you tell us with the quarantine and Corona, how is everybody faring? Are you guys all okay as far as the business? And is everything being in France? The restaurants are opening on Tuesday, I think.
They're opening a lot of things today, and schools and schools and some restaurants today, but there and also I think hotels and stuff. But you know, and the news they say stuff, but it's not really showing the real situation. So maybe
Yeah.
it seems like coronavirus is not here, but it's kind of here, and people are not that afraid, but it has a lot of impact in the economy. They're not afraid. They go out in the bars and taverns and whatever, and the coffee shops, and they get really close to each other, and they don't wear anything. But I don't know. It's gonna have a lot of side effects, like chain reactions to the economy. I think because many people were working with the tourism,
Mm-hmm.
and they were traveling even from here. That we're in the north. They were going to Khalkidiki. They were going to the islands to work, and they're not going to. So it's going to be a really difficult time, even for Greece, I think. And although we're healthy and we're not dying, you know, we don't have like a lot of deaths in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
It's still going to cost us a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Well, wine is, you know, wine depends on restaurants, depends on, and it's going to have its impact in our sales for sure.
Yeah.
And it's not just Greece,
There
it's every market.
it is. There's some wineries, especially like say California, has maybe a third they sell direct to consumer in wine clubs, a third to stores, and a third to restaurants. And those are the ones that are doing the best because some people sell 80% to restaurants and they're just devastated. And who were most of your customers?
We have a lot of private customers. But sometimes they're not local, so they couldn't drive here or they couldn't come. So, but we're still selling some wine here in the winery. But restaurants and wine shops, it's a lot for us. Like it's a big, a big proportion of our sales.
Okay.
So, but we'll stand. How to say that? We'll keep going.
Yeah.
And I'm happy because our wine gets better with time, so I'm not very stressed out if it goes bad.
That's a silver lining.
So
You're always so...
Yeah, we can keep it a little bit more. It's gonna be better later. So
well,
nothing is really gonna change.
That's such a...
We're in the fever now of the new production, and we're really on the vines to get the new grapes healthy because it's a crazy spring. It has been cold, and now it's really warm and really cold at the same time. It's crazy. So we have to be, well, we have to be, I can't find the word.
It's okay, I understand.
We have to be there for the vines. We have to, you know.
Well, I'm going to let you go, Evie. It has been such a pleasure to chat with you, and to see where you are has been very special.
You too.
Stay in touch. I hope we get to see you again soon. Over there, over here, one way or another. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for talking, and hope to see you soon too. I hope here or there. And thanks to Dionysia and Rachel for putting us in touch. I really appreciate it. It's good to see you. Have a good day, and thank you again.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.